When evening came, Jesus arrived with the 12, where the Passover had been prepared. While they were reclining at the table eating, he said, "Truly I tell you, one of you will betray me, one who is eating with me." They were saddened, and one by one they said to him, "Surely you don't mean me." "It is one of the 12," he replied, "one who dips bread into the bowl with me." While they were eating, Jesus took bread, and when he gave thanks, he broke it and gave it to his disciples, saying, "Take it, this is my body." Then he took a cup, and when he had given thanks, he gave it to them, and they all drank from it. "This is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many." He said to them, "Truly I tell you, I will not drink again from the fruit of the vine until that day when I drink it new in the kingdom of God." When they had sung a hymn, they all went out to the Mount of Olives.
His friends had come together to share the Passover meal. Traditionally, that's a happy occasion to come together as a family with friends and relatives and thank God for liberating them from slavery in Egypt. But on that day, it was a somber meal. They all knew that there were dark hours ahead of them. Even the disciples had a feeling that this would be their last meal with Jesus. And then Jesus announced, "Truly, I tell you, one of you will betray me, one who is eating here with me." When I think about this statement, I always wonder, wouldn't be the natural reaction that they look at each other and try to figure out who the betrayer is, and that they start pointing fingers, at least in their minds? But no, they all ask, "Surely you don't mean me?" Obviously, they all can easily imagine that they would fail Jesus. And what impresses me is their honesty, that they're all willing to see their weak spots, their faint-heartedness, all those sides that we usually don't want anybody to see, that we keep hidden away from others and from ourselves. Jesus knows his friends well. He knows their hearts and their fears. He knows their worries about themselves, about their own lives. And still, he continues their supper by taking the bread and the wine and share it with all of them. Jesus excludes no one, but invites everybody into community with him. He offers a connection, a covenant that goes beyond their weaknesses, beyond their failures, a connection that goes beyond time and place, and thus includes us today. We are all invited into his presence and welcomed into his community, just as we are, with our dark sides and our limitations.
Luke 22. Jesus went out as usual to the Mount of Olives, and his disciples followed him. On reaching the place, he said to them, "Pray that you will not fall into temptation." He withdrew about a stone's throw beyond them, knelt down, and prayed, "Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me, yet not my will, but yours be done." An angel from heaven appeared to him and strengthened him. And being in anguish, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was like drops of blood falling to the ground. When he rose from prayer and went back to the disciples, he found them asleep, exhausted from sorrow. "Why are you sleeping?" he asked them. "Get up and pray, so that you will not fall into temptation."
Now Peter was sitting out in the courtyard, and a servant girl came to him. "You were also with Jesus of Galilee," she said. But he denied it before them all. "I don't know what you're talking about," he said. They went out to the gateway when another servant girl saw him and said to the people there, "This fellow was with Jesus of Nazareth." He denied it again with an oath. "I don't know the man." After a while, those standing there went up to Peter and said, "Surely you are one of them. Your accent gives you away." Then he began to call down curses and swore to them, "I don't know the man." Immediately, a rooster crowed. Then Peter remembered the word Jesus had spoken, "Before the rooster crows, you will disown me 3 times." And he went outside and he wept bitterly. Of all the 12 friends, it had to be Peter. He had been a disciple right from the start. Jesus had called him at the very beginning of his ministry, and Peter had left everything he had, his job, his family, and he followed Jesus faithfully. Peter had been the first to understand that Jesus really was the Messiah, and now this. What had started with excitement and commitment turns into fear and denial. When Jesus turns to him while he's beaten and humiliated by the soldiers, that is the moment when Peter realizes what he has done. That's the moment when he sees his big promises and his failure, his pitiful attempt to save his own life. For Peter, it must have felt like the end. His tears are tears of despair. At that moment, there's no room for hope. He knows there won't be an opportunity to meet with Jesus and ask for forgiveness. In various ways, we are all familiar with the feeling of shame and guilt. Maybe not as drastic as Peter, but we also know how it feels when we have failed a person, when we have not lived up to our promises. What Peter can't know at this moment is that what just happened is the low point in his relation to Jesus, but it is not the end. We know that after the resurrection, Jesus will reconnect with Peter. When they walk along the beach, Jesus will offer him forgiveness and help him heal and make a new beginning. I can imagine that Peter will always remember this moment of deep shame, and he may have cried over it many times, like we carry our dark moments in our hearts. But we know that in the end, as Jesus' love for Peter prevailed, his love for us wins, and he calls us back into relationship with him and to new life.